To make this dessert extra special, I'm going to show you how to make coconut ice cream in your Ninja Creami. I'm going to start with 1 cup of non-fat milk. And I'm going to go ahead and add 1 tablespoon of coconut instant pudding mix to a separate bowl. And I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of an artificial sweetener. This is the one that I'm using. You can also use stevia or monk fruit. That's not the right one. I have wrong lids on things. That would have been really bad. So I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of this sweetener. These things are not as sweet when they're frozen, so you're going to want to make it extra sweet. I've got 1/8 of a teaspoon of xanthan gum. I found this one at Walmart. I think it was probably like $8. I have no idea how expensive it is when you're watching this, though. I'm going to go ahead and stir that up so that the gum doesn't clump up and get gross in our mix. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and add it to the milk. And I'm going to add this imitation coconut flavor just to bump this up and make it like extra special. I'm going to use 1/2 teaspoon. I don't recommend using any more than 1/2 teaspoon of any artificial sweetener that is an alcohol-based sweetener because of chemistry, really. It's going to lower the freezing point of this mixture, and when you pull it out of the freezer and then you put it in your machine, it's gonna be like a Wendy's Frosty for a few minutes, and then it's just gonna be completely melted. So we're gonna do 1/2 teaspoon or less. If you have the deluxe that is like 2 of these, you could use the 1 teaspoon. I'm gonna use an immersion blender just because I prefer it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. Okay, and I'm going to add enough water to get the liquid up to the fill line. I'm going to give it one more quick blend. I'm going to give it a quick taste test. That's pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to stick this in the freezer, and I'll be back in about 24 hours to make the topping and have ice cream. Now we're going to make our 5-calorie almond joy syrup. I started with 1.5 cups of water. In another dish, I'm going to add 2 cups of an artificial sweetener, and today I am using this stevia. The best place to get this, in my opinion, is Aldi. I have 1/2 cup of baking cocoa, which I would get at Winco. That's the cheapest place I found that. Also Smart & Final. I'm going to add 1/8 of a teaspoon of xanthan gum. And the best place to get that is at Walmart. You don't have to have this, but it is going to improve the texture. I'm just going to give this a whisk and get it incorporated so that the gum doesn't clump up when I add it to the water. Once all of your dry ingredients are incorporated into your wet ingredients, you're going to want to put it over medium heat. I normally would do this on a small saucepan on my stove, but I don't have a setup for my camera that is going to make it so you can see that very well yet. So I'm going to use an electric skillet. I'm going to go ahead and turn it up to medium-high heat, which on this skillet is about 300. I don't have an exact time for this yet. because a couple of times I've made it's been different, like 5 minutes, 10 minutes maybe. It really kind of depends on how it looks. It's going to start getting a little bit darker and get almost like a glassy look. We can actually go ahead and add the rest of our ingredients now. I'm going to add a half a teaspoon of vanilla. This isn't necessary, but it does help bring out the other flavors. I'm going to use only a quarter of a teaspoon of almond extract because it tends to be really strong and can easily overpower a recipe. It smells so good. The smell reminds me of the Jergens cherry almond lotion that everybody used when I was a little kid. I'm going to use let me show you this. I got this at Fry's. I think you can get it at Walmart too. I'm just going to use this one that I got at Kroger. They're usually on sale for like $2 or $2.50. And I'm going to use 1.5 teaspoons of this. So we're going to let this simmer until it gets to the consistency that it will coat the back of a spoon. The last 2 times that I made this, I used sucralose instead of stevia, and it wasn't foamy like this. I'm hoping that that's not going to impact the flavor when it's done. I kind of think that it's not going to. It's just having a different chemical reaction. I think this one should be fine heated because it's for baking. So some artificial sweeteners, they get bitter when you apply heat to them, like Sweet and Low, which is made with saccharin. I'm gonna give it just one more minute here. I kind of want it thicker. You can make it however thick or thin you want. I'm constantly stirring it because sometimes if you just walk away from chocolate or cocoa when you're cooking it, it'll burn and get bitter, and I do not want bitter sauce. And this doesn't take very long, so it's not really that big of a deal to stand here while it's doing its thing. Okay, I feel like that's just about where I want it. I don't know if you can see. Hot. That is the consistency that I stopped at. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and let this cool off before we use it because I don't want it to melt my ice cream right away. Okay, confession time. I just want to pull out the almond joy sauce that I made just last night, and I couldn't find it, and I thought, oh no, I ate all of that. I put all of that in my coffee this morning. That's how much I loved it. I literally thought I had 2 cups of it, but I only had 1 cup of it in my coffee, and I probably had, I'm not really sure how many coffees I've had, but I did have a little bit of it last night. But I thought I had like 2 cups of it. So I can't wait to try this. I've just pulled out my coconut ice cream, and I'm going to mix that up really quick. So I spun my coconut ice cream, and I've got my almond joy syrup here. I'm going to top this with some toasted almonds. I'm totally going to make a mess. It's going to go everywhere. That's okay. And I've got some toasted coconut. I'm so excited about this. It's seriously a reason to get out of bed in the morning. That coconut ice cream, for being so low calorie, is fantastic. It's so refreshing. I feel like it's a perfect summer ice cream treat. I actually have a second confession. It turns out I ate the almonds that I toasted for this last night too, and I had to toast more. I probably can't be trusted to make ice cream videos. Not ones that take 2 days. You should definitely try this if you like coconut. It is so good. That syrup was excellent in my coffee, and I hope you enjoy this as much as I do. We're gonna put some toasted almonds and toasted coconut on this, and it's be freaking delicious. Yeah, if you wanted a milk chocolate, you'd add a little bit of milk toward the end, like toward the very, very end, so that you don't curdle your milk, because that's disgusting. You don't want cottage cheese in your almond joy syrup. It's nasty. Chocolate ice cream. But I think that why is it fucking hard to speak English?